back, everybody. So autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain. Many parents are struggling to understand the disorder, and so we have invited consultant psychologist and professor at Northern Caribbean University, Dr. Arlene Brown Earl, to help us and parents, not just parents of autistic children, but parents generally, understand more about this. Doc, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well. It's good to have you this morning. Let's start high level and then we can drill down. This is a developmental disorder affecting communication and behavior, for which symptoms generally appear during the first 2 years of life. I'm reading in Jamaica, 1 of 68 children is affected by autism. Tell me about the scope and the range, because you have different levels, right? Spectrum.
Absolutely, right. So we have 3 ranges that we talk about. So we have, for example, mild, moderate, and severe. So level 1, you'll have a child that can function in everyday situations, and they can learn basic things, but they will all present with challenges with their social skills, repetitive behaviors, and speech and nonverbal communication. At level 2, there are more challenges. So they're not able as well to sit in a classroom and be focused and learn like a regular person. So they need much more support services. Level 3 now, they need a lot of support services. So you're going to have to make sure that they're definitely in a special education setting. At level 1, many times they can be in a regular school setting with what we call a shadow tutor or some type of academic support.
Right. Got that. Let's talk about the folks who need the extra support, the special education support. Doc, I want to say that we are failing our children who need that support. Am I wrong or am I right? Are there enough facilities? Are they accessible? Are they affordable for parents who have children with autism?
But before we go even there, do we have enough teachers? So we definitely need to ramp up our special education programs. That is key, because no matter how we build these wonderful classrooms,
yes,
who is going to teach them? Who's going to work with them?
Correct.
We also need to make sure that we have the facilities training for the shadow tutors, for the teachers' aides who are critical in this process. So that is what I want us to definitely do. Focus on how we can guide persons. We know we have the issue, just like the nurses, that they recruit our special educators. But I think if we pump some more money into educating the special education professionals, it will help us a lot.
Yeah.
Because in many facilities now, we have just the regular teachers doing their best with these wonderful children.
Right, which is commendable, but it's not the right fit for the child.
Correct.
So we talked about having the special resources in terms of teachers, the institutions, but we have to go even further, take a further step back to diagnosis, because what's happening is a lot of parents do not know that their children are autistic because they can't diagnose it. And so a lot of children end up in the general system being called dunce and troublesome, when in fact they have autism. So awareness, is it an awareness issue? Doc, or I know some parents bury their head in the sand, but is it largely an issue of awareness?
Yes, knowledge and awareness is key. Because we do find the parents who are aware, who, when the child presents at age 2 and 3, they go to the child guidance clinics, the pediatrician, and the pediatrician does a screening and say, this is the matter. Some do come forward, but then we have to look at issues of cost as well. So we have wonderful assessment centers, public centers, microcare, for example. But there's so much and so that they can do. And of course, the limitations of the clinical or school or educational psychologist to assess is another issue. Because the other side of the coin is to go to private practitioners. And there's a strong cost to that, because the private practitioners have an overhead that they have to cover. So that's another challenge that we have. We are happy that there are advances in the diagnostic capabilities. And so because of that, we have greater understanding and awareness. However, is my parent in rural or very urban Jamaica as aware as they should be? No. So we really need a serious parent education campaign that I have been begging for, asking for, applying for grants for, to go into communities, to go to churches, to go to PTA meetings and talk about these things. And we're not just going to go to the schools for personal special ed. That's the choir. They already know. We need to go to regular PTA meetings, primary schools, high schools, to talk about these things so that they will understand that their neighbor these are the things that they see their neighbor's child with. They then they can educate their neighbors as well.
And also to sensitize, Doc, the other children, because they're primary stakeholders too.
Absolutely. You'll be surprised how you guide a child, and a child will come and say, but you know, miss, so-and-so is not doing so-and-so. Their children are smart, they're intelligent, very helpful. So that's definitely peer education is going to be key as well.
Because if you're in a classroom with 20 people and one of your classmates has a shadow, and you understand why that is, then that will help you to increase your awareness as well, so that you can treat that child like your colleague and your friend and not like somebody who is less than.
Absolutely. Simple sensitivity and caring. That's what we must teach our children to
So
do.
where do we go from here? You say we need more than 1 month. And the 1 month autistic, where we talk about autism, that's the month of April, is great. But what we need is a comprehensive year-long campaign. What do we need, Doc?
Yes, we need a year-long continuous after that year is finished, more and more and more. We need to go into the child guidance clinics and we need to talk about it. So we're asking for any granting agencies, we're asking for anybody who has the funding support to help us to go and educate our people. The more educated we are, the better we will be as a community. And you know what? We have parents who want to go out and help, but of course we have to give them a little stipend for gas. We have to give them a little stipend for, to help to reach the different places and so on. That's what we want to do. Our psychologists, we want to be able to give them something so that when they go out in the communities, they can reach back home safely.
Right.
Simple thing. Yeah. But that's what we're seeking a grant. We're looking for the opportunity to go and educate and inform. For example, in my church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, we have Possibilities Ministry. And so through the church and the volunteerism, we're doing that. But that's just one little corner of Jamaica, of the whole sphere of things. So we want to be able to do much more. And Simone, we have to remember, that Jamaica is the leader in the Caribbean. So it's not just for us. When we do this, we'll be helping the Caribbean as well.
Yeah, because we can provide a model or a paradigm that other folks can build on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
I hear you talk about the simple things like people getting home safely, and it's big things that Doc, is not simple things at all. You need people to do the work, and those people have to be safe. I'm curious as to whether there is a body, an organization that pulls together all the key stakeholders who are advocating for this. So the psychologists, the special ed teachers, the parents of autistic children, who can help in the lobby to try and get something done. And what seems to be the bugbear that is holding back a definitive decision to help in this, what is a crucial area?
Well, we do know that the Special Education Ministry of Education is very serious about getting this done. Of course, we know that the financial challenge is one of the major factors for them. So they are able to access the professionals and pull us together. They have training sessions and so on from time to time all over the place. And of course, there is Autism Jamaica that's doing a wonderful job as best as they can to educate and advocate as well. But of course, the bugbear is, where do we get this real financial support to get the thing done? Yeah. We cannot pretend about that. It costs. We have to pay for the internet services when we're doing the online training. It doesn't appear out of thin air. So that is where we're looking. And we know the resources are there, So we're just saying, contact Dr. Brown, Earl, whoever has those resources. We will work with the Ministry of Education, Special Education Unit, and get things done.
Come on, Digicel, come on, Flo, come on, all the private service providers that can help Doc to forward this mission. It's really, really, really important. We really appreciate the work you're doing. Thank you so much for stopping in and telling us about it, Dr. Brown Earl.
Thank you too, and have an absolutely wonderful day. Hug and kiss everybody for all of us. And parents, remember, encourage your children to be independent. as much as possible.
Yeah, because it can happen. Consultant psychologist and professor at NCU, Northern Caribbean University, Dr. Orleen Brown Earl. Still to come, another Brown, Sophia Brown, makes her literary debut. But first, second edition of News in 5 is next.